On September 23rd, 1955, exactly 1 week before the untimely death of James Dean, fellow actor Alec Guinness had a terrifying premonition when the Star Wars star saw Dean's new car, a 1955 Porsche 550 Spyder, that would end up being branded with the nickname The Little Bastard. Guinness, whose credits go far beyond the Star Wars trilogy and will always be one of my favourite character actors, recounted this story on the Parkinson Talk Show, a UK chat show hosted by Michael Parkinson in 1977. James Dean was eager to show Guinness his new car, parked in a restaurant courtyard where the two actors were about to dine in. On the talk show, Guinness stated, "I said, 'Have you driven in it?' And he said, 'No, I have never been in it at all.' And some strange thing came over me. Some almost different voice. And I said, 'Look, I won't join you at your table unless you want me to, but I must say something. Please, do not get into that car. Because if you do,' and I looked at my watch and I said, 'If you get into that car at all, it's now Friday actually, 10 o'clock at night, and by 10 o'clock at night next Thursday, you'll be dead if you get into that car.' Dean brushed off the incident, but had he heeded the warning of his fellow actor, he may never have had his life cut short by the vehicle, which, as those of us are familiar with the story know, did end up killing him a week later. But the story of the little bastard didn't end there. Curses. The idea that a person, place, or object can have disaster, destruction, or even death surrounding them for the entirety of their existence fascinate us. Where do they come from? Do malevolent people place them on other people or things? Or does the negative energy from the aftermath of a tragedy attach itself to them? We will never truly know. But something intriguing about a series of events involving an ordinary object or person leads us to believe there is definitely something more than coincidence connecting them. The tragic legacy of James Dean's car began when the actor purchased the Porsche 550 Spyder in September 1955. The car was a dream come true for the actor, who had a passion for racing and fast cars. He had purchased the car as a gift to himself for his upcoming film Giant, and had planned to race it in competitions. James Dean was born in Marion, Indiana in 1931. As a young man, he developed a passion for acting, which led him to move to Hollywood in 1954. Dean gained fame with his performance in East of Eden, for which he received an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. He also starred in Rebel Without a Cause and Giant, both of which would become iconic films. The Porsche 550 Spyder was a lightweight two-seater sports car produced by Porsche in the 1950s. The vehicle was designed for speed and was popular with racing enthusiasts. James Dean was an enthusiast who purchased the vehicle from a Hollywood car dealer in September 1955. On September 30th, 1955, James Dean was going to a race in Salinas, California. He was driving his Porsche 550 Spyder and was accompanied by his mechanic and racing partner, Wolf Rotherick. As they went along the highway, they encountered a Ford Tudor driven by a 23-year-old Cal Poly student, Donald Turnipseed. Unfortunately, the two cars collided, resulting in the death of James Dean and severe injuries to Rotherick. The accident shocked the nation and devastated the Hollywood community. James Dean was only 24 years old at his death and had already become a cultural icon. The car he was driving, the Porsche 550 Spyder, was also severely damaged in the crash. In the wake of James Dean's death, rumours began to circulate about the car he was driving at the time of the accident. Many believe that the car was cursed and that it was responsible for the tragic accident. In addition, numerous accounts of mysterious occurrences involving the vehicle and its owners led many to believe the car was cursed. After the accident, the car was taken to a junkyard and dismantled. However, the chassis eventually found its way into the hands of a Hollywood car customizer, George Barris, who purchased it from James Dean's estate. According to Barris, a strange series of events began to surround what he had purchased when it was in his shop. Knowing the car's origins, it became a target for thievery from people who believe they can make a fair buck from the parts. One person tried to steal the steering wheel and ended up injuring themselves on the sharp edge of the damaged frame. It cut them down to the bone of their arm. Another person was injured while trying to steal the upholstery. Okay, so there would have been significant damage to the car, resulting in many sharp edges. So the chances of someone injuring themselves when acting quickly during an act of theft would be pretty high. However, the events that followed could lead us to believe something more was going on. The remainder of James's car was purchased by Dr. Eshrick, who had gone up against him in a race some months prior. He took the engine and some other mechanical pieces and gave the leftovers to Dr. Troy McHenry. Both men showed up for the Ponimo sports car races, where Eshrick was somewhat harmed when his automobile flipped over during the turn of his next race. McHenry, however, lost his life when his car spun off course and smashed into a tree. According to some, it was the only tree inside the track. 2 tires that remained of the vehicle were purchased and reused on another. Unfortunately, the man driving it had both tires blow out simultaneously, and the car ended up in a ditch. The driver made it out alive. What was salvaged from the car's chassis was used in automobile shows and safety exhibitions from 1957 to 1960. A story reported that during the transportation of the little bastard, the truck it was on crashed and killed the truck driver. This story has, however, yet to be proven to be true. In 1955, the vehicle was placed into a garage unit, which mysteriously burned down. After the fire, the car was left intact. The final mystery is where the little bastard ended up. The story goes that in 1960 it was transported in a boxcar that was sealed shut at its departure location. George Barris signed for the delivery, verifying the seal was intact before opening the container. When he did open the boxcar, it was empty. To this day, no one knows the location of the infamous car that caused so much tragedy. So there we have it. A series of terrible events all connected by a vehicle that was predicted to cause the death of its first owner. Is it possible it was cursed? Or were these events purely coincidental? Was there a negative energy or entity attached to the little bastard that Alec Guinness picked up on? Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video and think I deserve a smash to the like button or a subscription to my channel, then thank you. If you want to support me further, you can buy me a coffee on my Ko-fi account. Link is included in the description below. But if you really want to help me out, please share this video with those who you think might be interested in it. Thanks again.